एंड वेयर डू यू सी द रोल ऑफ, अब ज़रा AI, अब मतलब दुनिया तो आई थिंक बहुत आगे है, हम तो अभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा वो हैं, बट स्टिल द ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन स्पेशली आफ्टर द कोविड, सो आई एम श्योर आप लोगों ने भी काफ़ी चीज़ें इंट्रोड्यूस करवाई. वेयर डू यू सी दिस
Yeah.
ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन? और अगेन उसमें भी फिर आई थिंक दो तीन चीज़ें आ जाएंगी कि एक तो ज़रा एक्सपेंसेस भी कम है,
जी.
प्रॉबली यू कैन रीच टू अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु कैन नॉट गेट
Yeah.
एक्सेस टू द स्कूल्स.
तो मैं तो सोचता हूँ कि in order to really one of the key elements of using our existing education budget more effectively will be to use technology to try to distribute quality teaching throughout Pakistan without having to train a lot more teachers and without having to build a lot more infrastructure. I think it's kind of low-hanging fruit which we should try to utilize. Within Beaconhouse, we've started doing the same. Also, recently, we've introduced an online, not fully online, we call it hybrid, but it's predominantly online A-level program called HomeBridge. We started with A-levels because we thought kids are older and they're more able to, manage their own, schedule and studies. But the idea is to introduce, O-levels as well. And in the future. So हमने start A levels के साथ किया है, and what we've been able to do is, we brought the हमारा जो traditional A level program है, the fee is like around 50,000 rupees. A month. The infrastructure is expensive, teaching costs. There's a lot of affiliated costs with HomeBridge because we do all the lesson delivery online. We've been able to bring the cost down to about 13 or 14,000 rupees a month, depending on what subject selection you have. So it's like 1/4 of the cost of a regular A-level program. And we we've been this is our second year now, and we're finding that we're getting great results. The students are getting excellent results. We're even taking students from metric backgrounds,
Okay.
and even metric students are doing really well because online classes mein, live classes mein, they get personalized attention. There's no distraction. It's very easy for us to also monitor the
Yeah.
teaching now because a physical classroom mein to you have to go into the classroom
Sure.
to do to do a quality assurance evaluation. Either we can have QA people who just hop into online classes and one to the other. So our QA is easier. We have no infrastructure costs. So we're able to pass a lot of those savings on to parents. So I think it's worked really well for us. It's called HomeBridge.
And is it a separate brand? Yeah, is it
It's
just
a
a
separate brand.
okay?
It's within the Beaconhouse umbrella. It's called HomeBridge by Beaconhouse.
Okay.
So it's under the group umbrella. And we're in fact offering 200 free scholarships with Akhuat right now.
And वहाँ वो वाला I wanted to go there. Where did the idea come? मतलब वो कैसे अखुवत के साथ आप लोगों ने?
देखिए आइडिया इस तरह आया था कि HomeBridge was conceptualized. I think for any venture to be successful, right, it needs to have a bigger vision. It needs to make a difference to people's lives. You can't enter any venture just, honestly, for financial reasons. It makes no sense. So I think we had a lot of one of the reasons we did HomeBridge is because we wanted to make quality education available to a much larger number of people. And so there were two things. We wanted for it to be a vehicle for social mobility. तो एक जो पाकिस्तान के अंदर जिन बच्चों ने A&O levels किया होता है और जिन बच्चों ने मैट्रिक किया होता है उनको सेम एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ नहीं मिलती. They don't get access to the same universities necessarily as kids who've done international education. We wanted to reduce the barrier to entry and allow a much larger number of people to get access to that level of education. But we realized that even first kare at a 12,000-14,000 rupee limit, it will be out of the reach of many people. And because hamari ek mission thi that it needs to be a vehicle for social mobility, we wanted to make it as inclusive as possible. So, we got in touch with Dr. Amjad Saqib. worked with him in the past, who's the chairman of Khuat, brilliant human being, really has done tremendous things over the last 10 years. We had worked with him in the past on some फूड ड्राइव्स, ये कोविड के अंदर हमने राशन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इस किस्म की चीज़ें उनके साथ मिल के की थी. एंड वी थॉट देयर इज़ नो बेटर पर्सन बिकॉज हिज इंटायर विजन is also वो जो कहते हैं ना that saying कि give a man a fish and he'll be hungry in an hour, but teach a man to fish and he'll be fed for life. So Dr. Amjad की भी यही vision है of educating people, not of just giving donations. वो जो micro lending भी करते हैं वो लोगों को करते हैं to set up their own businesses, so that they have a future. So I think वो visions aligned there. We wanted to give people a pathway to really actualize their dreams. And that coincided with what he wants to do. So hum mil gaye. They obviously have access to a donor network that shares his vision. And because our vision and his vision coincide, we decided to do it. So we're starting with 200 completely free scholarships, meaning you don't, spend anything at all. There's a need-based criteria, which is actually quite high. I think if your monthly income is less than 200,000 a month, so you can qualify for it, which would cover almost a lot of people in Pakistan. But naturally, it's on a first come first serve basis. And those 200 scholarships, as you can imagine, are running out pretty quickly.
And
but
what's the criteria? So you go there, like there's an application?
There's some academic criteria also, but uspe we can be flexible, right? What we want to see is the kid is willing to work hard. लेकिन आप 200 totally free scholarships हैं. मेरे लिए what would make me really happy, और मैं हमेशा टीम को कहता हूँ कि हमारी ड्रीम ये होनी चाहिए कि कोई बच्चा एक ऐसे कोई गांव का बच्चा होए या बच्ची होए जो कि हार्वर्ड या MIT या स्टैनफोर्ड पे 100% स्कॉलरशिप पे जाए. We need stories like this in HomeBridge. This is why it exists. So what we do want to make sure is the kids that avail these scholarships work hard, because there's a limited number of them. We want them not to take this opportunity for granted. We want kids who are going to really work hard. So even if the academics initially are slightly below the eligibility criteria for the scholarship, if we can see that the child is willing to work hard and really make a future for themselves, we can make exceptions. Baki financial एक top ceiling हमने रखी है, but like I said, that's 200,000 a month household income, which is so high that most people, I think if your household income is higher than that, you shouldn't be applying for an Akhuat scholarship necessarily, right? So usse upar it's for it's that is the jo humne cap rakha hua hai. And we're hoping that we'll get some amazing kids into this program, and more than anything have some incredible stories to tell once these kids graduate. Our first batch will graduate in a year. And we're hoping to have some amazing placements for that batch. And what we're really proud of is a lot of these kids come from backgrounds that typical Beaconhouse A-level kids wouldn't come from. And that's really what we want to achieve.
और उनके लिए भी it's a hybrid model के if they want they can come.
So hybrid वो इस तरह है कि हमने we've tried to do the best of both worlds. तो जो core academics हैं वो online होती हैं. तो जो lesson delivery है, that's basically done through a combination of recorded lectures and live lectures. So it's a bit of a flipped classroom model actually, which is also innovative. कि हम जो recorded lecture that introduces all the topics which will be discussed in the live lecture. So we want kids to go over that. It's divided into like 10-minute topics. ताकि because एक वीडियो को there's research that suggests कि after 10 minutes बच्चों का attention span जो है ना, बच्चों का नहीं, anyone, their attention span it starts dropping off. So we have like a quiz after every 10 minutes, and वो recorded lectures हमने खुद record किए हैं using some of our best A-level teachers. Kids are expected to review those lectures. So when they come to the live lecture, which happens like I think 4 days a week live lectures होते हैं, फिर Friday को revision classes होती हैं. They're supposed to know the topic so that when they come to class, it's more about expanding on that topic. asking questions if there's something that the kids are unclear about. So we actually want them to be very prepared before they come into class. And surprisingly, because of this flipped classroom model, we've actually seen that quite often some of the kids are better prepared and picking up concepts quicker than they are in the brick and mortar school situation, because over there they kind of expect to be spoon fed in class na, कि teacher हमें सब कुछ बताएगा. Either we're trying to tell them कि यार हमने तुम्हें सारे lectures record करके दिए,
And you can
study
go
this,
back and
take the quizzes, you can go back and study it, but then when you come to class, really use that time to cement your knowledge and refine it and enhance it, and maybe delve into related things which might not specifically be covered in the recorded lecture. So it's also kind of the first time we're doing a flipped classroom model, which is something which we may start adopting in Beaconhouse brick and mortar schools also, because it's a general trend in the whole world now कि आप basic पढ़ाई और research on घर पे कर लें, because it's all available, and when you come to school, do more class work, group work, discussion work,
more of activities, you know,
more
thoda sa,
activities.
yeah.
जी.
Thank you for watching the full video. If you want to see more of such meaningful content, show your support by hitting the subscribe button.